just trying to get my computer running up. My phone keeps telling me that I can't go live, but there I am. Okay. So, let's see. Hi, Heather. How are you tonight? Seeing if I can share this out. It's kind of dark in here. I don't know what's going on with the lighting in here. Of course, we've had rain all day, so yeah. Alright. So, let me know that you're here, and we will do some questions and answers tonight. Things that you've been wanting to ask, things that you're curious about. Hopefully I can answer. If I can't, we all can do our homework tomorrow at some point. I wanted to try to get on both here tonight instead of being outside because it is rainy, to see if I can go through and answer some of the things that were on here that people had asked today. So welcome everybody. I do have to say, we have like 2,000 members. I can't believe it. 2,000 people on here. It's just amazing to me. Okay, your biggest question is that you live in a very wet area. Yeah, me too. What is a good way to dry things out? Well, when you figure it out, Heather, let me know. Seriously, we had a really great weekend. Friday through Sunday was just phenomenal with the sun, beautiful temperatures, low humidity, and then boom, severe. It just poured all day. I mean, it's soaked out there. Yeah, I don't really have the flies right now. I've got mosquitoes. They're everywhere, and I don't even know what to do about that. It's just crazy. Now tomorrow's supposed to be nice and dry out a little bit, so I'm hoping that some of them will, dissipate and go elsewhere. But suggestions are a fan in your coop if you can. Some of that fly paper. You can get those rolls of fly paper and hang them in your coop if you can. So, I guess high enough so the chickens don't bump into them. But you could put the fly paper in there, hang them everywhere if you want to. Certainly couldn't hurt to try it. They're like 99 cents, $1.50 or whatever for a pack of 4 or whatever. I think you could get them at a local hardware store like Ace, Kohl's. I don't know what kind you have at your area. You can get them at Lowe's, I think, Walmart, something like that. Just a word of caution, though. Keep an eye on your flock, Heather. Fly strike is the most awful thing ever, and we've had experience with that with rabbits, and in rain like this, all flies tend to think it's the end of the world, so they will lay their eggs in a cut or wherever they can in another animal that they know they can get their eggs in, and it's a gross way to die, just saying. But just be careful of that. If your hens or your other chickens may have something that's a cut or on the bottom of the feed, whatever, and a fly can get in it, they will. Okay. Is it Sheila? Is it Shyla? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Shyla. Okay. You need help figuring out which ones are hens and roos. What's the easiest way to tell? Okay. I don't know how old they are. Can you tell me how old they are? And I'll give you some hints. In the meantime, Shyla. Ah, Shyla. Cool. Well, that's neat. I like how that's Shyla spelled like that. Um, Heather says, how can I keep squirrels out of my feeders? They're eating more than the chickens. Wow, I didn't even know squirrels would do that. Well, I know squirrels do that. We have regular bird feeders, but I don't really see them coming into our chicken yard. That's interesting. Um, yeah, I'd hang the feeder, just so it's high enough that the chickens can get at it. I trapping the squirrels. If you could trap the squirrels on the outside of your chicken area, that would probably help a great deal. 10 to 12 weeks. Okay. Roos will have a comb that's more protruding than a hen. So when you look at the comb, okay, is it sticking up more than a hen? Put two of your chicks together, okay? It's the easiest way to do it. Put two chicks together. If they look even, both of their combs are even up here, good. If they have no wattles here starting, good. Those are going to be your pullets. But if you have one beside the other and one's a little bit more here and they've got these little things right here hanging down, you're going to have a rooster. And another way to tell is a rooster, Shayla, stands up taller and their feathers are a little bit longer and pointier. Okay, so start putting your chicks together and look at the different shapes of their combs, how far they're protruding up. They have the little wattles. Look at their feathers. If they're starting with their feathers down and pointed, pretty, like saddle feathers, that's how you can tell. Okay? Yeah, we have squirrels everywhere, Heather, everywhere, but they're more concerned with the suet things out in our other side of the yard where, we have regular birds than they are in the chicken yard. Um, my main problem are the little sparrows. They even fly in the coop and get the food. I don't really know how to stop that because I've heard that shouldn't mix regular birds with chickens, but it's kind of hard. I mean, birds are everywhere, right? So um, that's my main problem. Yeah, they'll just eat house and home if you don't try to trap them anyway. Try to trap them. Heather, it's a good question. um, I have to tell you a story about this morning. I went out to feed the girls their scrambled eggs, and I'm coming out the gate, and I hear this noise, and I'm thinking, what the heck? One's really like sounding weird. I thought, a cold, and I'm thinking, no, why does that sound like that? Who is doing that noise? It was kind of like a low, pitiful kind of chicken talk. Here, I looked over in the coop where the little ones are, and it's Charlie Brown. Our little rooster has started to crow, and it was so pitiful. I I laughed. I'm just sitting there, standing there laughing at him. I'm like, okay, Charlie, that is really pitiful. And he is probably my mother was calling me. Hanging up. Sorry, guys. My mom was calling me. Anyway, he is maybe 6 weeks, 7 weeks old, 8 weeks. About 8 weeks. 8 weeks. So, yeah. And he's a banny. So, it's pitiful. But he started crowing this morning. Angela says, when can I let my mama hen and her currently 2 to 3 day old chicks out into the general population? Angela, when your mama hen hatched her babies, where did she hatch them at? If you had her separated from the flock and she hatched them, I would put her outside in a little area for a day or two. She'll take care of them. I wouldn't worry too much. If you're going to put them out there, I would watch her closely. But we actually separated ours just for a few days and then let Mama handle it. But we did keep them in a separate coop out there because the little ones couldn't handle the big coop. We almost lost 2 of them because of it. So we did have to put a separate coop outside by the pig coop, so Mama knew that's where she had to take her babies until they got older. You just keep an eye on them. It's different when a mama hen has their babies. I would just make sure they're okay. But if you can, Angela, try to get another coop out there with them, because sometimes a big coop, when everybody goes in it, isn't the best environment for a 3-day-old chick. It just isn't, because there's no way they really can get the food and water and stuff that they need, and the other birds can kill them if they don't want them in there at night. Okay? Shayla, I would never put any pesticide around or inside the coop, especially something like Seven Dust. It's a pesticide where they'll eat it. They'll scratch in it. They'll put it on their feathers. They'll eat it. It'll kill them. A lot of people say that diatomaceous earth doesn't work. It's a wives' tale. It does this and does that. We use it. We've been using it for a few years. We put it in their dust bath. We put it in the coop, in the nesting boxes. Basically, that's all we use. I would never put any pesticides whatsoever on the ground, in the coop, or around it. Anything and everything natural that you can think of, from herbs, fresh herbs, dried herbs, marigolds, flowers like that would keep pests and bugs away. Look for flowers that you can plant around. If you can put a little fence so the chickens don't destroy them. Basil, things that cucumber, I don't know, that chickens will eat anything. So if you could just put a little fence around marigolds or some other little flowers, diatomaceous earth would be your best friend. But never pesticides. So what happens is if you put it on the ground, they'll scratch it and eat it, and it just goes into their system. And then I'd be weary of eating the eggs. So yeah, Heather asks that she rubs her head, or says that she rubs her head hens down with, boy, I'm really good tonight, with diatomaceous earth, and the flies are leaving them alone. And you can do that, yes. You just make sure that dust doesn't get in their nostrils, because it could suffocate them. But yeah, I've done it. You could just put a little bit of diatomaceous earth on your hands or on their back and just spread it around inside their wings there and whatever, and it will help keep the bugs at bay. So, yeah. My hand's getting tired, sorry. I know some people... now my computer's dying here. Jeez. Okay. I think everybody's good about the grit. I've had that on as an announcement for the longest time. Is it that... Is that good DE for keeping? Yes. Diatomaceous earth, the food grade that you buy. Sorry, my hand's tired. Buy at Tractor Supply. You can get it online. Your local feed store should have it. Uh, farmers use it in the horse bins, cow bins, whatever. It's diatomaceous earth is it works for me. I mean, everybody's different. Some people don't believe in it at all. Some people think it's a lie. But hey, I used to use it for my dogs. We used to buy it when we had a flea and tick problem here a few years back, and my kids were severely allergic to the pesticides, like Terminex or Ehrlich or whatever when they come and do that spraying, and I get really sick. So we had to really do a natural cleansing. I mean, we did balm and stuff, but we were like sick for weeks. But I would get the diatomaceous earth and rub it on my hands and put that on the dogs, on the dog beds, everywhere, because it was just awful. And it worked. So, yeah. As soon as you see mites or lice, put that stuff everywhere. Everywhere in the coop. On the floor, in the nesting boxes, on the roosting bars. Rub their feet with it. Rub their legs, their feathers. Just don't get it in their nostrils. So, hi Randy, you're in Northern Ontario, Canada. Well, welcome to the group. My diatomaceous earth I purchased at a store called Tractor Supply Company. I don't know how far up north they go. It's a kind of like it's a northeastern type of southern type of store. If you have like grain feed stores or small like farm stores, they should be able to have it. And if you don't, look online for diatomaceous earth, the food grade, and you should be able to find it online in certain chicken places or farm places that would sell that online. So you're welcome, Shayla. Again, just remember, whatever you put in your coop and on the ground, I'm sorry, I'm shaking the table, your chickens are going to eat. Just remember, they're digesting it. So just be cautious, okay? Let's see. I have to say again, by the way, most of your coops, a lot of your coops are gorgeous. I know some of you have your chicks that are growing up, and some of you are noticing that most of them are roosters. Sorry about that. Of course, I know how that feels. I don't know if Sammy Hudson is on tonight, but she found bloody stool, and she doesn't know who it's from. Well, narrowing it down is probably the best way. You just have to keep watching them. But if she watches this later, Sammy, if you can take a picture of that and send it to the group or send it to me so I can get a better look at it, I could maybe help answer some of your questions for that. I don't have a lot of experience with blood in the stool, but sometimes that's an indication of parasites, worms. It could be the diet, it could be stress, it could be anything. So summertime for chickens can be stressful. Some things to do. We just cut up some watermelon and we put the rinds with some of the watermelon on it in bags and put it in the freezer. So on really hot days or uncomfortable days, we'll take some of the rind out and just throw it out there for the girls. Oh, they love it. They love it. They have the one that we just threw out the other day, just stripped completely clean. They just love frozen watermelon. You can do frozen peas, frozen corn. Well, I'll tell you what. Don't feed your chickens corn in the summer. I'll take that back. Corn tends to raise their body temperature, which causes even more stress. So I try not to even give the scratch very much because it has corn in it during the summer months. I know there's a lot of people out there that would put corn in one of those little tins, etc., and feed them frozen corn. I won't do that. Some people do. That's definitely up to you. But corn can be dangerous giving a chicken in the summer. Just saying, especially those breeds that don't tolerate the heat very well. Okay. But you can freeze fruits, strawberries, bananas, just about anything you can think of. Really nice ice cold. We make sure we put lots of ice in their water, and extra vitamins because the heat just drags it out of them. They become sluggish. Let's see. Do different breeds start to lay at different ages? I have an Overton and Olive. You have a Jersey Giant. Heather, I want a picture of that one. Can you send me your picture of your Jersey Giant? I know they're big birds, but I'd like to see it. I don't see very many of them. Be really cool to see. Yes. Every breed is different. Every breed will lay at different times. Your best breeds to lay early are your Isa Browns, your Australorps, and your Plymouth Rocks. They will lay at an early age before they're even 3 months sometimes 4. About 4 months is average. Some special breeds will not lay till they're 6 or 8 months. It really depends. Sometimes you can look just those birds up, and that will offer you the timing and what type of breed they are and their temperament and everything, and if they go broody or not. Tend to go broody. You can look each one up. I know that the Olive Eggers will probably be about 5 months. Yeah, 5 months. About. Leghorn, it would probably lay before they're 4. I'm just saying. They might. They tend to be a fast growing chicken and mature quicker to like the Isa Browns, because a lot of people use them, industries. So, Jersey Giant, I do not know. I'm thinking about 5 months, but I could be wrong. I don't own one, but I think I remember reading before that they do. Oh, that's okay, Heather. Whenever you can, it'd be cool to see her. Just interesting to see what a Jersey Giant actually looks like when somebody has one. Like I said, I do see pictures, but I don't know anyone who owns one. So that'd be cool. Thanks. Oh, yes. So tomorrow's the day. I had a couple people who did come in and get some of our chicks. But the rest are going tomorrow to the livestock auction. We have 8 left downstairs. We separated them. We went through them. You saw my babies outside. They're the ones we're keeping. The rest are going to go. It's sad, but I don't have room for all of them. I just don't. They were all the extra ones that the hatchery sent. And so they're going. So we're going to get up early tomorrow and drive about an hour from our house to go to a livestock auction. So I've never been to one before like that, so it should be interesting. And hopefully, they sell to a good place. They should. I mean, I've got 3 Polish Dorkings and a Silver Lake and Belvedere that are rare breeds, so I'm hoping they'll go good. Go very well, so I'll let you know how that turns out. Let's see. Should we block the nesting? Heather, say, hi Kaylin, how are you? Should we block the nesting box until they are about ready to start laying? Should we block the nesting box until they are ready to start laying? Oh, you mean like blocking it off so they can't go in it? And when they start laying, then open up? You don't have to. We never did. It's all in your preference. All in your preference. I would think you'd want them to know what it's about. You're going to have those 1 or 2 hens that want to lay in one all the time. Just pick it up and put it back on the roosting bars. They'll get it. But you don't have to. You can if you want to, but I wouldn't. We never have, so I'm sorry, I'm trying to scroll through here to see. There was something asked about something, and I wanted to touch base on it tonight. And you know what? I cannot find it. Well, I wanted to. I have to tell you a story. I'm looking at all the people who want to join the group. There are a lot of people, and I can't believe we have 2,077 people. Okay, and that's great. That's great. I'm really pleased about it. I'm excited. I'm glad. But somebody wanted to join the group, and they said, "I got down to your question, and you have your group, like quotations, my group. Why do you want to join my group?" She says, "That threw me for a loop, so I don't want to join. Thank you anyway." I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I just thought that was funny. Anyway, moving on. We do have 2,000 people, so I'm hoping, and I have had a couple of people who have reported some things, and I have deleted that certain post and just left it go at that right now. But with this many people, there are bound to be some strangeness happening. Like I said before, and you've all heard this spiel before, the reason why I started this group is for everyone to learn from everybody else, support and guide, be respectful, be courteous, and that's it. I want to pass on what I'm learning myself to help you have a happy, healthy flock. If you're not going to have a happy, healthy flock, then you don't deserve chickens. If you want a happy, healthy flock, you need a happy, healthy attitude and atmosphere, and where you can learn and be safe and asking those questions. Not everything on the internet is true. Not everything. That's fact. That's fact. Not everything on the internet is true. You cannot believe everything you read. This person may have an opinion that you can never give chicken this, and this person says, oh, yes, you can. It's just crazy. So the purpose of what I wanted to do is for everyone to learn here. It's an experiment. That's what we're doing with the chickens. It's an experiment. We learn every day. Everything is new. Each day, everything is different. Each day. Some of you have veterinarians in your area that you could take your chickens to for illnesses or whatever. That's wonderful. Good for you. I think that's great. I have do not have that opportunity. I'm left with my own devices. And in my opinion, chickens are fickle. They're like cats. You cannot pinpoint every ailment. Period. Just can't. You just can't. You do your best. You do your best. Yeah, move on. That's all. That's all it is. That's all it is. All it is. All right. Good night, Heather. Yeah, I'm going to head to bed too. We're going to get up early and, like I said, try to get the chickens in the dog crate and head out. Okay, so people are sensitive. You know, that's what makes this world the world. But I'm just hoping that it's a peaceful group. So, anyway, I guess enough of that. Anybody have anything else they want to chat about? Let's see. I did tell you, if you didn't hear, my little Banty rooster tried to crow this morning. It was hilarious. I'm hoping he does it tomorrow morning too. I will tell you that a lot of people post pictures of chickens that are old enough that I can't really tell whether or not it's a hen or a rooster. I don't know if it's the angle of the pictures or what, but there's some breeds that kind of look alike. I'm just trying to see which ones were here that I'm scrolling down here. At certain ages, some chickens, if you put the male and females together, there is no difference. The difference will be probably when one starts crowing. So, unfortunately, every breed, I can't tell. I just can't until you know if it crows or not. If it doesn't crow by about 12 weeks, 14 weeks, it's probably a hen. Let's see. Hi, Josephine. The male roosters are trying to breed, but the females seem like they don't want to. What should I do about it? Okay, Josephine. You want them to breed with the females? You want fertile eggs? Is that what you want? When we had Monkey, I'm sure, Josephine, I don't think you were in the group yet, but I had a naked neck rooster. His name was Monkey, and majority of my girls did not want anything to do with him. They would not let him anywhere near him. He had to really prove himself and do a lot of dancing and cuddling up to him before they would accept him. You just gotta just be patient. They will determine what rooster they want. They'll determine that. If they want one rooster and not the other, they will. That's what will happen. Don't be surprised if some of your hens turn around and beat the crap out of a rooster. I've seen it happen. Been there, done that. I had to break it up. I thought the hen was going to kill him. It was just, she just landed that rooster right on his back. She had nothing to do with him. Nothing. Patience is the key. They'll get there. As soon as they're old enough and they know they're ready to lay or if they have been laying, as soon as they squat down, like, oh, here I am, that's when you know they're going to be ready for all your roosters. And like I said, they will pick which rooster they want, if any. So, but just be patient. It'll happen. And then after that, you hope you have a broody hen, unless you have an incubator. I don't have an incubator. I'm blessed with a broody hen, but even if the roosters did their job and you had some fertile eggs, that doesn't mean they're going to hatch, because you won't have a broody hen. But hopefully you have an incubator that you can use. How old are they, Josephine? Depending on their age, if they're really young, it's going to take a while. If they're older, like say a year or so, it may take just a few weeks or so for everybody to, determine February to March, April, May, June. Now, when you say you've had them since February, since they were little babies or older? Because if you had them since they were chicks, they're not quite 4 months, right? February to March, April, May, June. You're going to have to just be patient just a little bit longer. I would say in another month. Okay, another month. But if they were older, I would say about any time. Anytime. And you know what? I have to tell you something really interesting. When we had our naked neck rooster, the girls hardly squatted for us, because we were just the humans that were feeding them. Monkey was the main man, so they squatted for him, right? Now that he's been gone, all you have to do is call their name and they squat, because now they see us as their protector and their leader, so they'll squat for us. It's hilarious. Okay, so say they're about 4.5, 5 months old. Yeah, I'd be patient. I'd give it a little bit more time. Sometimes it depends on the breeds, maturity, and whether or not a hen wants to accept a rooster, because they don't have to. If they don't want to, they won't. They won't. Even if he mounts her, she will not, and she doesn't want him, she won't accept him at all. So just give it a few more weeks, Josephine. I would say if you don't see any action, per se, by the end of June, then you may want to, I don't even know. I've never experienced that. You may want to start, taking an egg or two and maybe candling it to see if it is fertile. Or if you see bullseyes in your eggs when you open them up in the morning or whatever. If you start seeing bullseyes in your eggs, you'll know that the roosters are doing what they're supposed to. Okay? And you know what to look for when you do that, right? Josephine, when you break your eggs, if you have roosters. When I made I make eggs every day for them. I make scrambled eggs, but when we had a rooster, I knew the eggs were fertile if there was a bullseye. So in the middle of the egg, there would be a white ring around a dot. That's a bullseye. That indicates that the egg is fertile, or was fertile, because now you're frying it. But yeah, okay. I just want to make sure. Some people don't know. Some people don't know. Okay, so I think I'll let everyone go for tonight, unless there's any other questions. Yeah, sure. Now I lost my page. It just has not been a good week so far. What is today? Monday. Oh, Lordy. Okay, so make sure you share. Let everybody know that we do have announcements of different videos. Oh, you're welcome. And like I said, now that And to tell you the truth, Josephine, if like say you had to get rid of all your roosters, but you still wanted some incubated eggs, you have a 2 week leeway. Hens can keep roosters' presents. I'm gonna say a present in their system, in their ovary area, for 2 weeks, and your eggs can still be fertile. But as soon as you see those fertile dots in your eggs, you'll know that your roosters are doing a good job. So, okay, I forgot what I was saying. But maybe next week, announcements, videos, files, if you have some things you want to post on how to or insights or tips, let me know and we'll get it in the files section. We'll get it into the group files, whatever you have. Okay? So I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. Have a good week, and I'll let you know how the auction did with our babies that were taken tomorrow. And enjoy. Had any questions? Let me know. All right. Good night, everybody.